And joining us now, Rich Feltz, the president of the Kansas Farm Bureau, is just wrapping up their convention here in Manhattan. And Rich, you made it through a century, starting on year 101.
101, but you know what that means? That means that we've got 100 years of history behind us. So what a base.
It is. So we just completed the meeting. You just went through what to me is one of the best things in all the ag organizations is they start at the grassroots. You work through the process of resolutions and policy, and now you've kind of got that game plan in place moving forward.
Very true, and our grassroots base is what we relish in our organization. It's what makes us what we are, and we're so broad based that we have to be dependent upon that grassroots. And as we get here, some that experience our policy process today, there wasn't a whole lot of fireworks in there. But a lot of that is because we have good solid base to our policy. Our input has started at the county level, and it's been filtered out before it gets here.
Well, it has kind of changed the days of bringing those ideas to the floor. You work it ahead of time and work truly at those county levels. And so by the time it gets here, it may have already made a circle around the state for people's input.
Well, no question about that. And that's the way our process works. That by the time we have our listening post here later in the fall, everybody has the opportunity to see what's surfaced up to that point.
So you say not many fireworks. Anything come out that of any major change in policy?
No change at all of significance at this point. But Ken, here again, I say that our policy is broad-based enough that it covers basically all the issues that come up.
So there are a number of things, and also we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the award winners and the counties. These counties continue to do a number of things advocating for agriculture.
Very, very, very true. And that's a big part of what annual meeting's about. Is one, I guess we could start out and say it's a social event to some extent, but it's to set policy and establish that, but it's also to make recommendations for those within the organization and those that are very supportive of the industry as well.
Absolutely, and so that is taken care of, and now we move forward. And so as we look at that, before we kind of talk about maybe looking at 2020, one of the big issues is going to be replacing a guy like Pat Robertson. Do you replace a guy? We have about a minute here, and I know probably enough time, but just give us some thoughts, some reflections on what Senator Roberts has meant.
Well, I think Senator Roberts has made a great deal, not to just Kansas, but to agriculture across the country. Going to be hard to replace an individual like that. I know we have some good people that are going to be willing to step in those shoes, but the tremendous experience that he has, respect that he has, going to be very challenging to fill it adequately. Yeah.
Rich Feltz is a farmer from Montgomery County and the president of the Kansas Farm Bureau is joining us. We're going to take a break, come back and talk about looking at 2020. We'll be back in just a moment.